Hi students, I hope that you are very clear with the last video. Okay, if you have any doubts you can post to me. And in this lecture we are going to discuss with respect to the characteristics whatever of the equilibrium. Okay, there are some 4 points and we know very well that the equilibrium should be dynamic in nature, means the forward reaction should be equal to the backward reaction, and with respect to the concentration, the concentration of the reactant and the product should be constant at equilibrium. See, I am telling constant, not equal. Constant means whatever that is present, it should be remaining same. Okay, right. Equilibrium can be achieved from either side. So you see, this is generally the product that is formed from these two. So you can get these two also from NH3. Okay, reactant getting converted into the product getting into converted into the reactant. So from whatever the direction you see, the equilibrium point will not be affected. The equilibrium point will be constant from whatever the direction you take. It may be from forward direction or it may be backward direction, right? If you take the third point, initial concentration has no effect on relative concentration at the equilibrium point. See, at equilibrium point, whatever the concentration is there, it should be constant. It is not depending upon the initial stage. Okay. So let me show this example. Already I have showed you once. See, initially, let me correct it. See, initially I have taken 10, initially I have taken 40, so that it is 0. See, it is 3, 9, 6. At this point I have got equilibrium. Okay. Suppose if I take 100, this one 400, this one will be 0. So this one will become 30, 90, 60. Okay, the ratio is common. At that point only it will be getting equilibrium. Suppose if I take 1000, 4000, it will be 0. This one will become 300, 900, 600. Getting the students? Means how much you take, this equilibrium point, it is same. The ratio between these will be the same. Okay. So this equilibrium point is not getting affected. Whatever you take the initial concentration. Okay. The equilibrium point is attained at the constant concentration of the reactant as well as product. That equilibrium is not affected by the how much the initial concentration you are taking. The ratio will be the constant. And it should be a constant temperature. Equilibrium point will remain constant as such at a given temperature. Temperature should not be changed. If temperature is changed, what happens? Definitely the equilibrium will be changed, because equilibrium constant is depending upon the concentration. So at a particular temperature, means temperature is kept constant. If you see at the equilibrium point, whatever the color of the chemicals are present, it is remaining constant. The pressure is constant as well as the density also remains constant. Okay, at equilibrium point at a given temperature. And whatever the reaction you are performing, that should be performed in a closed vessel. Means A plus B, it gives rise to C plus D. Suppose if there is a formation of the gas, what happens if you do in the open vessel? The gas will escape out, so that this one will be getting decreased, so that you will not get the equilibrium again. So you should perform in a closed vessel, so you will be getting immediately doubt. Suppose if it is a liquid, there is no problem like that. Liquid also gets evaporated. Okay, if you take a glass full of water and you place it openly in one place, if you see after some time the surface molecules gets evaporated into the atmosphere. Okay, so what happens? If they are getting evaporated, means they are escaping from the vessel, so that you can't attain equilibrium. So to attain equilibrium, it should be done, or the reaction or the chemical reaction should be done in the closed vessel itself. So it is impossible to attain equilibrium in a open vessel. If you do a reaction in a open vessel, no way of getting equilibrium. So gases tries to escape from the container, so that equilibrium gets disturbed, so that no equilibrium is attained if you perform the experiment in the open vessel. Thank you, students. If you next continuation, and if you go for the role of the catalyst, see what is the role of catalyst? It enhances the forward and backward reaction and helps to achieve the equilibrium faster. Okay, means what it is doing means it increases the rate of the forward reaction, it increases the backward rate also fastly. Means the time is decreased. If you use the catalyst to attain the equilibrium, what is happening? Time is decreased, but the equilibrium point is not disturbed. Be clear with this. See, let me solve this with taking an example. Suppose there is a tree. He is a person A. There is no other way. So as to cross this one, what is happening? So assume that this is India and this is Bangladesh and border this one. So to cross this one, what happens? He should climb this tree. He should move in this pattern, in this pattern, in this pattern, in this pattern, and come to here. Person A. So this is the way what he is coming. Person is same. Okay, between tree is present. This is without catalyst. He is coming. Suppose if there is catalyst, what it is happening? He is making a hole in between. He is crossing with this one. So to come at this middle point, it is taking lot of time. Okay, to come this one middle point, it is taking less time. But the equilibrium here it is in the middle, here also it is in the middle. It is not disturbed. So you can come into the center point very fastly by using catalyst. Here you can come into the center point very slowly. Okay, if you use catalyst, you can come fastly into the equilibrium point, but the equilibrium is not changed or it is not disturbed. So if you use the catalyst, the equilibrium is attained very fastly, but it is not disturbed. Okay, so let me show with respect to graph this one. I am plotting a graph with respect to rate as well as time. This line, whatever I have represented with the black line, so the concentration of the reactant going on decreasing. At one stage it has become constant. It is line taken. It is also, it is going on increasing with respect to products. It has become constant. So you have attained something like equilibrium called as dynamic equilibrium. Okay, this equilibrium point, whatever you are getting, this is without catalyst. If you use catalyst, this one has come here, the reactant has been decreased and it has got to this point, and the product has also formation has come very fastly. It has come to this point. Okay, and from here it is constant. See, the time here it is very less. If you go from here to here, you are taking 0 to, if you go on in this right way, what happens? The time goes on increasing. So what we are taking, we have attained equilibrium at the lesser time, here at the more time, but the equilibrium point is same. If you use the catalyst, the equilibrium is attained very fastly, but the equilibrium point is not changed. Without catalyst, it will be somewhat late. Right, students? And these are the characteristics of equilibrium point. Right? Next, if you go for the one more theory, that is called as, this is very most important, and this is also linked to the second year, chemical kinetics. Let us see, and that is called as law of mass action, and this was proposed by Gullberg and Weg. What does he say? Suppose A plus B, it is getting converted into C plus D, means the reactants are getting converted into the product. Okay, and if we represent anywhere, this is like this in terms of bracket, that is called as active mass, or it is also called as concentration of active mass. Okay, concentration of the active mass. See, in this, the formation of the product, it depends upon what? It depends upon this one, concentration of the reactant. So if you want a product, the reaction should move in the forward direction. See, again I am saying, see, let me take this as reactant getting converted into product. See, product formation, it depends upon the concentration of the reactant. More is the reactant, more the product is formed. Okay, so the formation of the product depends upon the concentration of the reactant. So I am taking rate of forward reaction, RF. It is depending upon the concentration of A as well as concentration of B. Now, the concentration of the reactant, it depends upon the concentration of the product. Getting this? If you want the formation of the reactant, how much this is formed, it is depends upon the how much C and D, that is product, is present. So the rate of backward reaction, RB, it depends upon the concentration of products C and D, concentration of C, concentration of D, and this is active C, which is inactive, it will not involve in the reaction. Whichever not is getting involved in the reaction, we are not bothered about that. Whatever that is getting involved in the reaction only we are bothered, because that only gets converted into reactant. Whichever it is active, that only gets converted into the product. We are bothered only with the active thing, so that is called as active masses. So rate of forward reaction depends upon the concentration of the active masses of the reactants. Rate of backward reaction depends upon the concentration of active masses of the products. So for the forward reaction, it is depending upon the reactants concentration. For the backward reaction, it is depending upon the concentration of the products. If I remove the proportionality, I am keeping with respect to something constant. So rate of forward reaction will be equal to Kf, rate constant for the forward reaction, into concentration of this one, rate of backward reaction. I am removing this proportionality so that I am keeping Kb, concentration of C, into, that is products concentration, right? And we know very well that at the equilibrium point, rate of forward reaction should be equal to rate of backward reaction. That is what we are learning from the starting point. So rate of forward reaction is equal to rate of backward reaction. So these two are equal. So what it should be? as LHS are equal, RHS should be equal. So Kf concentration of A into concentration of B should be equal to Kb concentration of C into concentration of D. So if you get this Kb this side, what happens? Kf by Kb should be equal to concentration of C into D by concentration of A into B. So this point it is called as equilibrium point. So K equilibrium it is equal to Kf by Kb is equal to the, what is this entire concentration of products by this one concentration of the reactants. Okay, I hope that you are getting this. So let us take some questions and do with that one and solve that. So let me take the question like this. 2A plus B it is getting converted to C plus 3D, and this is also getting converted reversibly in 2A plus B. Okay. So if I want to write KE, KE is equal to KF by KB. It is equal to concentration of C, concentration of D whole to the power 3. See, don't get confused why you are taking 3. Okay, I will solve that. And the concentration of A whole power square and concentration of B whole power 1. So you are having coefficient 1. You can take it 1. You are having coefficient here 1. You are taking 1. Simply for writing that, concentration of products C and D are present. What is the coefficient? For coefficient of C is 1, so it will be the concentration of C coefficient is 1, concentration of D coefficient is 3, this is 3. Concentration of A, reactants at the bottom, concentration of A whole square. B, you are having 1, so it is B power 1. This is the way, this is the correct one. See, if you go for the rate of forward reaction, it depends upon what? Formation of products means it depends upon the reactants. How many A's you are having? 2 A's you are having, so it is A into A, another is B. So A into A square. So if you keep constant Kf into A square into B, that is what we are getting here, A square into B. These are reactants, right? You will be getting in the denominator. And if you go for the backward reaction, this is concentration of the C. How many D's you are having? D, 3 D's you are having. So it is D cube. If you take the backward reaction, this one will be the Kb into this one. So these are nothing but products. So this is the concentration of the products by concentration of the reactants. See, I think you are clear with this now. Okay. So in the same way, try for this one. N2 plus 3H2, it gives rise to 2NH3. Ke will be equal to Kf by Kb. And products is this one, NH3. What is the coefficient? It is 2. It is square by N2 coefficient. It is 1, so it is 1. H2 coefficient is 3. It is become whole power cube. Okay. And if you go for this one, 2SO2 plus O2 gives rise to 2SO3. Solve, students, this one. See, product is SO3 whole square by SO2 square into O2 whole power 1, because stoichiometric coefficient is 1. If you take this reaction, 2HI plus H2 plus I2. See, students, pause the video and you do that. After that, you check the answers. Kf by Kb will be equal to H2 whole power 1, I2 whole power 1 by Hi whole square. Right? And the next equation is 2NO gives rise to 2NH3. No, this is wrong. Let us take this one. So you keep this one because there is no H right in this reactant. You will not be getting this one. So 2NO2 shall we take, so that you will be getting N2O4. Okay, N2O4, right. So this is what you will be doing, N2O4 whole power 1 by NO2 square. So 2NO2 it is getting converted to N2O4. Okay. So concentration of the products, this is N2O4 whole bracket, coefficient is 1. So power will be raised to the 1, and this one is NO2 whole power square, because we are having 2 N's. This is 2N, 4 O's, 4 O's. Clear. So in the same way, try for this one, 2N2 plus 5O2, 2N2O5. So N2O5 you are taking the numerator whole square by N2 square into O2 whole power 5. I hope that you are clear with writing this one. And this is the general condition of the writing the equation. Small a, this is the stoichiometric coefficient with capital A. This is the concentration of the reactant. This one B with B, C with C, D with D. And you write the K equilibrium for this particular reaction, so that it will be concentration of the product whole power raised to the stoichiometric coefficient by concentration of the reactant raised to the stoichiometric coefficient. So what is the equilibrium point? It can be defined as. So if you are interested in that, you can write this. See, what you are doing with respect to C and D, you are multiplying, right? Multiplying means in mathematics you can call it as product. Okay. With respect to reactant, what you are doing here also you are doing product. See, I am talking with respect to products now. See, K equilibrium is nothing but it is the product of, means you are multiplying product of concentration of the products raised to their stoichiometric coefficients to product of concentration of the reactants raised to the stoichiometric coefficients. See, again I am writing here. See, K equilibrium, it is the ratio of, see, it is the ratio of product of concentration of products raised to their stoichiometric coefficients. It is the ratio of products of concentration of products raised to the, this product is different, this is multiplication, and this one is here, this condition, products to the stoichiometric coefficients to the product of concentration of reactants raised to the power of stoichiometric coefficients. This is the condition, students. Again I am repeating, and this will be the last now. So K equilibrium, it is defined as, it is the ratio, means this is the middle one, you are taking the ratio, it is the ratio of what? Of